Hello everyone, welcome back to Cluster B Milkshake. I am your host, along with cuteness, Mr. Chicken Support Puppet. Yeah. Today we're going to go over the push and pull between a narcissist versus the push and pull of a borderline. I took notes on just my thought pattern on what I do in relationships with my cycle of push and pull. And then I went on a video about borderlines by Dr. Fox and took notes on what they do. So you will be able to see the sameness, the difference in both behaviors, and sometimes they are comorbid and they can mix. All right, so borderline personality disorder. After the honeymoon stage, fear arises as flaws and other issues begin to show. As others cannot fix the image you have in your own mind, the borderline, about this person. This is the devaluing stage. Devaluing stage, just like with a narcissist. Now, everybody on the planet who is dating somebody new, both of you guys are in the honeymoon stage no matter what. When you start to calm down in the relationship, that's when problems are going to start to fucking come up. And usually it is childhood trauma triggers. Okay? Besides that shit, the push. This activates fear of abandonment, isolation, emptiness, and loneliness. This prompts you, the borderline, to act in maladaptive ways to test relationships. If I try to blow it up and it doesn't all burn down, it must be good. However, anything that doesn't get burned down gets retested until it's engulfed in flames. It's a lose-lose situation. Because if they pass that test, then there's another, and another, and another. What you're doing is you're pushing that person away until they finally leave. This is all unconscious, but it feels real to the person that it's happening to. Now, I'm not saying that narcissists and borderlines can't consciously test their people too, but I mean, this is really deep rooted in a lot of these things, and triggering events and childhood trauma-y shit. Everything is just just fucking throwing up all over the relationship, and you're like, what the fuck is happening? Well, even two disordered people in a relationship with each other will be doing these things back and forth to each other as well. And because we don't always know what the fuck is happening, we gonna be pointing fingers like the Spider-Man meme of, oh, it's you, you're the one that's doing the shit, and nobody's taking responsibility, right? All right. So, the dissolution of the relationship seems to prove the fears as valid, and this empowers the borderline and internalizes ideas of how relationships are supposed to be. This is mirroring what you grew up with. So if you were in a relationship, say, with, not even in a relationship, if one of your parents was cluster B, and this is what you grew up with them, we're going to take those traits as our normal, and then we're going to be doing it to our partners. Our brain grew into this. So this is like part of our toolbox. Some of them didn't teach us empathy, but we got this shit, right? All right. Now, for a borderline, the pull. Now that the person is gone, now you pursue them. Promises to change will be made. You can't live without them. You want them close now that they're distant, but the fear will set in again and the cycle will begin. Okay, so he has a lot more to say on that, and I will link that video in the comments, okay? All right. Now, from my perspective of narcissist personality, there are two different ways in my relationships I have reacted on this subject, okay? So, first, after the honeymoon stage, if I feel like something is off, abandonment anxiety is going to set in. This is going to trigger an event. I am going to get angry, attack my person, and then get away from the threat. So just like with the borderline, this is what I did as well. To protect myself from being abandoned, I leave first. This will test your loyalty and commitment. Will you come after me? So I don't chase. I'm waiting for you to come and say, yes, I love you. I love you. I want you back. I want to work on this. I want to make everything better. And sometimes a narcissist doesn't want to work on shit. We just either want you to take responsibility or we don't want to talk about it at all. All right. If you don't come back, that's when you're going to get the attacks, you know, the messages, reverse hoovers, flying monkeys, etc. This is us in panic mode. Sometimes I will block you everywhere because of anger and anxiety. If I miss you, I'll unblock you and hope you message me. If nothing works, I'll leave you alone. I will have a narcissistic injury. I will either find a replacement, drown my upset in booze, reinvent myself, or hit a massive rock bottom before I rise from the ashes. All right. Another thing that can happen, I'll push you away in my head and keep you at arm's length. This is after the honeymoon period. This protects me from enmeshment and getting hurt. You're the one that's going to try to do the pulling. But I've never found a way to come back from that. I'll enjoy happy moments less and less until I'm faking positive emotions just to get by. Fights may happen more often. You're being devalued for being broken. Be better. Do your fucking job. Make me happy. Fix what's broken inside of me. Not by making me work on my shit, but you have to try harder and harder and harder until you're basically, you lose your soul. Or I'll stop faking shit and become silent and cold. So I'm not even trying anymore. And this can last years. I did this in my marriage. If I see that you're not behaving in the way that I want you to, this is where breadcrumbing will come in. I will give you little bits of love and affection. What is it called? Appreciation, fucky sucky, whatever, just to keep you in line. So I don't care about threats from you anymore. because I have become the threat. And I wait for you to leave. Okay? So those are the differences, and sometimes they can combine. Like in my first trauma bond, I actually would chase down with anger. I would chase down with anger or promises to change, because I was so fresh and new. I wasn't even paying attention of what, crazy was going up in my head, that I was so goddamn dysregulated that, my anger was just here, there, and everywhere. I took his, mirror of me being such a terrible person as in, oh fuck, I gotta change all these things just to have this piece of shit in my life. After that, never again did I ever want to feel that devalued. So I became even more hypervigilant and never chased a motherfucker again, except to yell, bitch, and complain at them and make them take responsibility. Never did I ever take responsibility for shit, because fuck you. I might have even had a little bit of male hatred going on in there as well. So I just blanketed all men are shit and treated you accordingly. Okay? All right. I hope that was helpful. Have a great day. Namaste.